Hi, I'm Tanya Gadboys. I'm one of the co-founders of Chicopee Paranormal. We're a paranormal research group who goes to businesses or private residences to help people who have claims of hauntings. We try to either prove or disprove those claims using scientific methods, and then we use whatever we find to either help the homeowner deal with the situation, or sometimes it's something as simple as getting your electricity repaired. We show you how to get rid of what's in your house or learn to live with what's in your house.
The American Legion was chartered in 1919 by Congress for veterans at the conclusion of World War I. Local posts sprang up across the country. This organization evolved from a group of war-weary veterans who found it hard to acclimate back into the community. It also gave a place for the veterans to congregate and help each other cope with life as civilians. The American Legion, Wilson Thomas Post 185, was established in 1945 for veterans of World War II. We have been told the land it was built on used to be a junkyard whose owner was rumored to have ties to the mafia. There have been a few deaths tied to the property. Now there are claims of paranormal activity that both employees and patrons are experiencing. CPI was invited to come in and investigate to try and validate the claims or to find logical explanations to what they are experiencing.
I have been experiencing pretty much the whole building, the attic to the bar, the hallway where the kitchen is, actually seeing, like a male figure walking through doorways, doors opening and closing by themselves. I'm not the one to get scared, but my employees are kind of on nerves. My first experience was probably about back in March, I would say. It was during the daytime, and I actually saw a man figure walking through the kitchen area into the hallway. I actually saw the whole, not like a full apparition, but it was like you could see the silhouette of a person, and you actually saw the door open and close. And I look in the hall, there was nothing there. Well, as you know, we have a big hall in the back, and after bands or big events going on, it'd just be me and another bartender here, and you hear tables dragging in the back, and banging on the bar itself, like trying to get our attention. Actually, the other night we just heard a scream. That was pretty cool. Yeah. We walked in, Jake told the cook, our chef, and said, I hope you have fun in your kitchen. I just saw your door from the kitchen into the hallway open and close by itself. So a lot of doors open by themselves, a lot of screaming sometimes you hear. It's too cold out for anybody to be standing outside screaming. It's definitely coming from the hall. I feel targeted when I'm in the attic. It's because when I'm up there and the door, you have to push it closed instead of open it, so when you open it. So when I went to push it closed, whatever was behind there just took the doorknob out of my hand and kind of shut it really fast on me. The best one yet here was my bartender Heidi was on and they just had a big party in the back. So there was like probably about 13 people at the bar. So there's like 13 people actually witness to this. And this chair over here, there's 2 chairs down. The commander was sitting there, and he just lost a dear friend of his. He hung himself. And he was talking to himself. He got drunk and just started talking to himself. And next thing you know it, the chair, 2 chairs over from him, came over here and it flew. Like it was thrown. It wasn't even tipped. And he just yelled, "I didn't do it." And all 13 people said, "We all saw what just happened." All of us saw it. That chair was picked up and thrown. Now I feel like maybe he could be part of the haunting here. We also had his, after his funeral, we had the party, you know, their after party here. And what happened was, a whole case of beer that empties just flew right off the back of the shelf. We did have a man who did have a heart attack and die in the kitchen. A woman who had a brain aneurysm and died right here in the bar area, right at the bar.
I've been experiencing things probably since a couple weeks after I started here. I've been experiencing things in different spots in the club. I seen the light go on in the kitchen, and one time the radio went on in the kitchen, like it was coming in half staticky, and it was just weird. My first experience was probably the first night I did bands here, and I sat down at the end of the night, like to have like a little celebration, because you know we did really well in the register, and I sat down and all of a sudden I heard like tables moving in the back hall. So of course I thought somebody, you know, like left the door open where somebody's in there or somebody didn't get out and everything. So I went back there and I seen the table move, but nobody around. I went through the whole building and it just kind of freaked me out. Okay, there was one night where Brenda and me went out and we came back here. Brenda was in the back doing something. And I was out here with the bartender and we were just talking about like bands and certain things, and right over there we heard just like that loud, and she looked at me and she's like, "Oh my God, did you hear that?" And it was really strange. We both heard it and it was like that loud. It was really creepy. So I was bartending one night and there was a Pabst, the cans, and I walked by and they were sitting on the shelf over there really well. And next thing you know, they just tumble over and they're all on the ground. And another thing that happened that same night, there's a doorbell holder. There's a doorbell up over the cork board over there. And I popped off 4 times in that one night. And it hasn't popped off since. It was just that one night. I was figuring maybe it's a vibration of the band or something like that. We had bands last night, it didn't pop off. So, I think it just happens when it happens. It's just, they do when they want to do it.
While we were interviewing Brenda, it seemed like my camcorder malfunctioned. I have never seen this malfunction before, nor have I seen it after. I ran many tests on this camcorder, and I still have no explanation for it. Here is that malfunction.
Does anybody feel targeted?
Yes and no. I mean, sometimes I think Jake and the cook here feel more targeted than anything. It's more the guys. I feel targeted when I'm in the attic. And it's because when I'm up there and the door, you have to push it closed instead of open it, you know, so when you open it. So when I went to push it closed, whatever was behind there just took the doorknob out of my hand and kind of shut it really fast on me.
EVP is the abbreviation for electronic voice phenomenon. These are voices that are captured on an audio or digital recorder that you did not hear during the recording session. The theory is that the audio or digital recorder can pick up lower or higher frequencies than the human hearing frequency range. Then it takes those frequencies and puts them back into the human hearing frequency range. It is alleged that these voices that are captured are voices of spirits. Here is just some of the EVPs we captured that night.
Tom, Jake, and Lou were in the bar holding an EVP session. Tom asked the spirit to touch the K2 meter. Right after that, they caught a female EVP.
Once again, Jake has a green light in his hand. Can you touch that green light?
This is the EVP enhanced and looped 3 times.
Jim, Brenda, and I went up to the attic to hold an EVP session. During the session, I asked if anyone was here. In response, we caught a female EVP. Alright, is anybody here? You have Mindy, Jim, and Brenda up here if you want to talk to either one of us. Here it is enhanced and looped 3 times.
Tom, Jake, and I were in the hallway holding an EVP session. Tom asked the spirit again to touch the K2 meter. Right after that, we captured a male EVP.
Can you please light it up?
Here is the EVP enhanced and looped 3 times.
During the investigation, Tom and I heard a noise coming out of the storage room. So we grabbed an audio and placed it in there. About 3 minutes later, an audio captured a male EVP. Here it is enhanced and looped 3 times.
In the beginning of the evening, we set up a recorder in the banquet hall. Later on, we were taking a break, all in the bar area, and we captured a male EVP. Here is the EVP enhanced and looped 3 times.
Tom and I were in the banquet hall holding an EVP session. I demanded that it let me know it was there. We caught a male EVP. It was one of the best EVPs I have ever heard. I want to know you're here. Here it is enhanced and looped 3 times.
VP is the abbreviation for voice phenomenon. These are voices that you hear during your recording session. You can also pick them up on your digital or audio recorder. These voices that are captured are alleged to be voices of spirits. Here is one of the VPs we captured that night.
I called Tom over to the hallway because of some weird K2 hits. During this time, I was explaining what was happening, and we heard a female VP, and Tom acknowledged it. Here it is enhanced and looped 3 times.
This is just some of the evidence that we captured at the American Legion in Feeding Hills, which makes CPI believe that the American Legion is haunted.